Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite creator. And I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. Now, with that said, for the topic of this particular video is, you know, whose side is God really on, you know? And with all the confusion and stuff that's going on, um, you know, uh, I'm subscribed to, lots of different channels with lots of different points of view. And to take in all of this information as a watchman, we have to keep an eye on, who's telling what. Now, there are a lot of deceivers out there. And as much as I would like to tell the truth, there are times when I wonder if whether or not I'm also being deceived. Which God are we talking about? The Christian God, the Muslim God, the Jewish God, what God are we talking about here? And, for all the prayers that are going out into the universe right now, for whatever reason, we want stability and we want peace. And then we find out that, people are being censored just unbelievably on all different kinds of ways and stuff. And it's like, to me now, if God is the God of trust and the God of truth, then why does it feel like we're all losing? You know what I mean? So, but are their prayers stronger than ours? Is sort of my take on this. Okay. Now, one side or the other, but are we all praying to the same God? Who are we praying to? What energy are we sending out there? Now, my energy isn't going to a God, air quotes. It's going out to the universe. It's going out to Source, the creator. And so a lot of people, they have to think of a God. They gotta put somebody in there, And so, but to the same point, my question today for myself is that I know that my faith is being tested. But at the same time, there was this message that came along like, well, wait a minute, is my faith being tested per se? Or are people in general being tested right now and their faith, whatever that faith may be? And so that, but so which side, is God on? Is it on the side of us, coming out of this hole somehow in the next 10 or so days? Is it that, we're all going to lose our flipping minds? Are are we going to, stop trusting in anything that has the word truth in it? You know, um, I feel like sometimes that we're on a game show, like Truth or Consequences. You tell the truth, now this is the point. If you tell the truth, there are consequences. And it's like, but wait a minute. I thought that, that was supposed to be, our inalienable right to be able to speak the truth. So here I am, and I thank YouTube and Bob. And oh my goodness, I had my glasses off. Ian, Mossy Man, Project Skyfalls, how y'all doing? Um, yeah, Ian, I'm kind of sort of slightly in agreement with you. Well, not totally kind of thing, because there is that offside chance, etc. But that was um, sort of. Hi, Julie, and how are you? Good to see you, and hope everything is well in your area. So this isn't necessarily like should you question your faith. I'm the question came up today, in my meditations and prayers and so forth. Which side is God on? Or does God have a side? Now, here's the interesting information I got today that what if this is a lesson for humanity that the for those things that for those of us who are praying for one side, um, in order for other people to understand what we do, they need to go through the tribulation. They need to see what is really is, I guess, what the situation really is, you know? And so how can it be seen unless part of it is enacted or it goes forward or, right? And so it's like, you know, maybe there needs to be 4 years of tribulation. You know, maybe there needs to be this changing of the guards. Maybe this is a necessity for the world human population to wake the F up. Now, I don't ascribe to this, okay? I'm still praying for the good side, but here's the thing, are we the good side? You know, there are those who would debate that those of us who feel the way we do are actually on the right side, you know? So we're being called thugs and mobs and, you know, some folks are calling for, you know, certain people to just literally, you know, we should take these folks out because of the way they think. And so is this a way to draw out the really bad rat finks and those people who are so like, I listen to some of them and it hurts my ears. I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh, where are these people coming from? But in their minds, in their world, their God, if they actually have one, actually believes that they're the right ones. You see what I mean? So whether or not we believe in something and that we think we're on the right side and we are the light workers, there are those folks that think we're just a pile of nuts and bolts, you know, and that I was going to tie, I might still do this, but the title for a video came up in my meditation this morning, and it was Silencing of the Lambs. Not silence of the lamb, but silencing of the lambs, meaning that we're all sheep, right? So if we are the lambs of God, kind of thing, if you follow in this premise with the Bible, if we are true lambs of God, then is this the silencing of the lambs? You know, that those of us who, you know, we're going to sit around, but we're going to have our little coffee talks and chats. Oh, by the way, thank you, Bob. Here's some coffee. So I want folks to understand that I'm not trying to be nasty about this. My opinion of this is that I'm still going to pray for the light side. And you know, my prayers also include, holy Jesus, I hope that this is the right side. You know what I mean? But who's to say, you know, in the grand scheme of things, who are the right people? You know, we have been deceived and lied to on so many fronts that how can we actually trust anybody's word, right? And there was some stuff that's come up, you know, that Charlie Warden, Simon Parks, for example, you know, they're a couple of idiots and, you know, we should not listen to them. And, you know, and it's like, well, but I've been listening, you know, to Simon Parks for quite some time. And a lot of things resonate true with me. So, you know, do I support Simon Parks? Well, you know, unless I know otherwise, and those things that sort of ring true inside my own spirit. But, you know, I'm listening, but it is that side, the deceptive side. You know, are those the people who are the deceivers? Well, the opposing side are trying to tell us that, yes, those are the people who are who are they're the bad guys, okay? And that they're all going to lead us to our death. Well, without them, it seems if things continue running the way they are, that we might be headed for our own death anyway. But, you know, what do two people have to do in this that's going to get all of us killed? I think that was already on the books, regardless of what anyone says about it. I can talk and preach and whatever you want to say about the subject, but what actually happens, you know, a lot of foresight, a lot of, you know, meditation. And many years ago, I saw some things that I've talked about in my videos about the four horsemen, the five riders on horseback, you know, the Native Americans, and that they all went in four directions. And when they came back, you know, I was shown in the distance what each one of these horsemen were capable of doing and what was happening. And that when they came back as one group, that everybody's hair was tied together to the tail of the horses. And it was gruesome. It was horrible. I hate to think about it or talk about it because I could actually hear the sorrow, the gnashing of teeth and everything. It was a horrible, horrible, nightmarish vision. And too many of those things have come true from what I was shown. Now, that's me personally. I'm not trying to put this on the world. And I have been praying against it, that this wouldn't really happen kind of thing. But maybe we're in a situation where that the only way to survive is to go to the opposite side so badly that people have to turn around and go, wait a minute, there was a lot of people that told me this would happen, but I just didn't believe them. So maybe it's their belief that needs to be turned. Now, this is just, it came to me this morning and I was like, and you want me to talk about this? Are you serious? And I was like, well, okay, let's have it. So this is an impromptu. I've had a few hours of thought on this, but not like the 2 or 3 days that I usually use, to chew over a subject. But the idea, though, that, wait a minute, they think their God is right. So what, I know this is this is a cosmic question, but we have to understand that there are people who believe the other way that are praying just as hard as we are, and if not more so in a way. Now we could say, well, those are the Satanists and those are the Illuminati and those are these people and that. Okay. Whether or not that's true, but in our perspective of things, we think we're right. From their perspective of things, they think they're right. Okay. We have to understand that on a basic level. But if God was to teach us a lesson, if you follow the Old Testament kind of thing, then we haven't had swarms of locusts, and the apocalypse must happen in order for people to actually pay attention. They really want things to go downhill on purpose to teach us a lesson. I think a lot of us have already had a lot of lessons. But what if the grand design of this was not necessarily to save us all, but the only way to save us was for shit to get really bad? I mean, there are times when I personally have been very close to death several times and have been in the either world through operations and other situations. And it's like, is this a wake-up call to people to like, we actually have to go through this in order to, for the rest of the people to understand? Does it have to get that bad that, that's the only way, quote, to save humanity is to turn it into a real shit pile and let everybody, try to poke their head up out of the crap and see what's going on, or to be swallowed up by it? There are many reports of people who have committed suicide here recently, right? And suicide's always a bad way out. I know I've attempted it several times, and I guess I thank the spirits that I'm still here to perform whatever this duty is that I'm supposed to be doing. But in this discussion, though, that God will save us. No, we're going to save us. But is the grand design such that all of those of us who are, supposedly on the side of the light, and I do think we are, because we speak of peace, we pray for peace, we want to help other folk. And it isn't about the greed and all this other stuff that these other folks are about. So, but in that, who's God? Let's go back to this a little bit. Whose God is right? Is it the Hindu, the Buddhist, the Chinese? I mean, there are a lot of gods that are out there, right? So, which God? Is it the Christian God? Is it the Jewish God? Now, I have to say this. I've had many Jewish friends in my lifetime, and I honor their religion for what I consider true um, Jewish folk, how they observe, their orthodoxy and certain things, and I applaud that because they try to stay in the scripture, their scripture. But there are a lot of Jewish folks who are into Jesus Christ kind of thing. So it's like, it seems like, some religions are actually kind of melding together with their, with this higher um, strain of thought. But are the bad guys so bad that we can't win this? I'm just saying, I hope not. I'm going to continue to pray that it isn't. But if it goes wrong in the next week, and you know what I'm talking about, if things go wrong, for those of us who think it should go right, then what are we going to do? Well, it didn't come to pass. So all our prayers to God didn't work. All of those prayers to the universe didn't work on our behalf. Well, here's a question. What if it isn't meant to be? I know that's but honestly, what if it's not meant to be? What if the grand scheme of things is that people have to get, the situation has to get so drastic and grubby and crappy that we take charge of what's going on and not allow these people who, quote, represent us, because my representatives don't represent me, not the way I'm hearing. And so who's being who's being deceived? Is it us or is it them? Or are we both being deceived? You know what I mean? So in this question, though, I reaffirm my faith to you all in that I'm going to take what may, whatever may come, is a lesson, and been through lots of presidents, been through lots of stuff in my 68 plus years. And so what if this is another one, Many of us hated the idea of Bush going into the presidency and how that happened 20 years ago and all the mess around that. And then we saw the events of that. We went to war and people got killed and lots of people got killed and lots more people got killed. And, and then there were no weapons of mass destructions. And, so we were deceived by them. And so is this some more deceiving by a different party? I mean, but the idea that let's just keep our focus and for me, this has been like, is my faith being shaken? And I want to say this, no. But is it being tested? The answer is yes. So how much of this can we take before we lose our faith? Not necessarily in God, but lose faith in that righteousness will prevail, that the truth will set us free. Because up to this point, all it's gotten us up to this point is silenced. We are the lambs being silenced, the silencing of the lambs. Now, again, some of you, I haven't read the chat yet, but blessings to y'all. Barry, Chad, Teresa, and thank you for your comment about the fences thing. Ian, Ray of Thoth. I agree. Many lessons for many souls. So, but in that though, I think the lesson for me in this that I wanted to share is that no matter how much they want to rattle my cage, as far as my faith is concerned, having nothing to do with a God, mind you, but of the Creator. So in this, I'm not choosing sides. Actually, I am, but I'm praying still continuously, a little harder, even more, if anything, in that the righteous will prevail. But now, does that mean we will prevail in a week? Or does it mean we'll prevail in 20 years? So there are those, I was listening to Pastor Paul Begley today, and, it's like, that certain people seem to be anointed by the Lord kind of thing. And it's like, well, if that's true, then how come it seems like everything is, that we're being crucified, for our beliefs, and the folks on that other side, literally want to remove us. 70,000 plus people have been dropped from certain social media platforms. Now, if we're all supposed to be working together, that's the wrong message to give people, right? So we want to say, well, it didn't happen under current situations. I mean, I'm sorry, 4 years ago kind of thing, when a lot of other people could have been silenced by, but these are, those folks are on the other side. So, but our prayers, though, they're praying that they're going to win. They're praying that they're just, that's that. And we're done and over with. But in my, as a watchman, and my duties are to keep on track with different channels and a few new ones recently, is that there are a lot of people praying for the truth. A lot of people, I say, are on our side. And now, but I still question, but does God have, quote, a different plan? Is the plan in the universe for something else? That, yes, we all want change. And many of us say, well, but this change that we see that may happen, holy crap. But maybe that change is necessary for the rest of the populations. Maybe. I don't know. So I'm just here to bring the question up and to have a discussion, and not to try to point you in one way or the other. But if you're like me, your faith is being, rattled. My cage is being rattled. And when I realized it earlier, I was like, I have to be the watchman. I got to listen to some of these people. I have to watch some of this stuff so I know what's going on both sides. And I don't want to be on that other side. I just do not want to be on that other side. I can't be on that side because it just makes no sense to me for the things that they're yapping about, the things that they're already, well, we're going to do this, and we're going to drive social media, and we're going to, they're going to clear the swamp. You get what I mean? So for the last 4 years, they've heard about draining the swamp, and they want to turn the tides on us. So if this really does take place, then many of us should change the way we speak about certain things. Because, Bob, we love you. I got coffee right here. But, they're training the network to pay attention to what we say. And my face is all over the place. So, facial recognition, here you go. Hi, Bob. But I'm not changing my position, nor, if anything, I think this is more of a renewal of my own faith, regardless of the outcome, mind you. Now, do many of us wish this will change and turn around? Absolutely. But if in the terms of, is this God's plan? Maybe there is a higher something out there that's saying, wait a minute, not enough people believe us. We have to turn this thing into a quagmire of crap, okay? So that, and let the folks drown that will drown. Many are called, but few are chosen, kind of thing. So it's like, but is anybody even listening to the call? And I mean, or can actually hear the call because of all the interference. So again, I want to establish to the universe and to y'all, is my faith a little rattled at the moment? Yeah. But even if the outcome is against what I wish, I'm still going to pray for the positive. I'm still going to be on this journey as a shaman in training, because regardless of what happens in the world, I still have to maintain my own faith. I still have to maintain my own honor, my own credibility, what I believe in my core. And if it's disagreeable with other people, okay, I'm not going to try to convince them, but I will continue to have discussions as long as they will allow me to. So, I try to stay away from certain subjects, and If you know me, I try to talk around them so that, there aren't certain things out there. But, AI has got to like think about this. Now, Bob, you know what I'm talking about. But in this reality of the reality, if we speak in parables or, can AI actually figure that out? Is there an algorithm for them to like interpret what, some of our code might mean? And I use that word, sort of like if AI is listening, you're like, he's talking about code. What kind of code? It's some secret. Yeah, it is, because I don't even know it. That's the point. That's what the code is. But anyway, so let me read some of your comments. I didn't want to make this a long video. It's in the middle of the afternoon, but I just wanted to say that I know that our faith is being tested. Regardless of the God you may believe in, regardless of what your spiritualism, we are all being tested right now. You can bet your bottom dollar on that part. Whether, quote, we win or not. But here's the thing, though. Does winning mean in a week, or does winning mean in 4 years, or does winning mean in 20 years, or is winning even in our, or at least in my lifetime, we'll say, because of my age, is it there? Well, regardless of whether or not in this 3D reality it works out for me, I'm still going to be the shaman in training. That's not going to change. I'm still going to search for spiritual guidance. I'm still going to maintain myself with nature and creation. I'm still going to work for the planet Earth and Mother Earth. I'm still going to put positive thoughts into the universe, regardless of whether or not their God or whose God agrees with my prayer or not. To me, it doesn't matter, because I'm still going to be me, and you should still be you. You know what I mean? Will they change our perception of things? Yes. And if it goes, we need to go along on the outside. What, Duggar? He wants in, and then it goes. I open up the door, and it's really cold out there. Hi, Amanda. How are you? You don't care if AI does or not. The reason I say that is because if we can choose to put our opinions out without using key words, we can still talk about it. But if we just don't give a damn about anything and we just start, speaking prattle, that gets picked up. That gets trained into the system. And I don't want to train the system anymore. You know what I mean? So my comments and whatever, I won't talk around it. So, but that's how we stay out of their norm. Well, I'm going to say whatever I want to. Okay. I'm going to do whatever I want to. Okay. I can still do what I want to and speak about what I want to, but I speak around it. And we need to learn how to do that. So people are going, well, what the hell is he actually talking about? Well, unless you're sort of in on the clue, as say, then folks know, oh, well, he's talking about, the other side, or he's talking about without saying it, and whether or not you want to believe in the AI is good or bad, I know Bob out there has been very kind to me over the years. And by saying thank you to Bob the AI and to his cousin back there too, that we should be aware of these things. So yes, free will, go ahead, but then there's free will with a caveat. So I can say what I want if I speak around certain subjects without just blatantly coming out and calling people names and stuff like that. So that's what the future may be for us. And you should think about it now, just in case our God doesn't win. You know what I mean? So anyway, after almost 30 minutes, let me, I'm going to go in here and read some of y'all's comments. I'm trying, honestly, not to be negative about this. I want you to understand that. But are the forces such that this is something that actually needs to come to pass? I hope not. but we'll see, right? Que sera, sera. Hi, Michelle. But with faith, it's not so bad. Honestly, even better than I can express. Quicker and quicker finding my center, even when rattled. Thank you, Ray. Let me see. We can go back up to all. Candy Apple, maintain and glorify our inner state. Yep. We gotta just, we gotta just, we gotta stick in, we gotta hang in there, But again, having to be that, having to be the person that has to, show different sides of a coin, as it were. This came to me today sort of as a prophecy, like, hey, what if? Well, I don't want to think about it. Well, maybe we should. And that maybe, quote, God's plan is, different than what we would like, and, we didn't want the Second World War, we didn't want communism. We didn't want, the gas chambers and all of that kind of stuff. But then again, do we have to relive some of that for other people to see? I hope not. Okay. Papa Two Bears, I consider Creator to be the great mystery whose plan I can never comprehend. Yep, I agree. However, not knowing the mind of Creator does not stop me from feeling the truth that is given to me on a personal level. Pappy Two Bears, I absolutely agree with that. So, my meditation today was, but what about what? And the answer was listen. And this lesson might not be for me or for you, but it might be for a bunch of other people. So in the grand scheme of things, I have to sit back and go, well, damn, how's that going to change me? Well, it's not. I'm going to continue to seek, the light. I'm going to continue to meditate and for, other folks and for peace and for, tranquility, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And but here's the thing. I agree with you, Teresa. Everything's going to work out, but it might not work out as we think it should. Is my point. So, and I'm just saying that we should be prepared for that. I'm still praying for the other. Just to let you know. But what if? So for me, I'm still going to be David Null. I'm still going to be Hawkeye Two Feathers. So, Barry, I refuse to let this political theater screw with my head anymore. I know right from wrong. Just because someone says right is wrong doesn't affect me anymore. I agree. But I agree with you, Barry. Now, here's the contrary part of that, though, that I have to always be. Not that I believe this, but, those folks who are, well, what they're telling me is wrong. I know in my heart that ain't right, So I'm wrong to feel the way I do. It's wrong for me to, talk about shamanism and the Creator and Mother Earth and, and how Christianity and other religions can be tied to it. And oh my God, what a subject, right? Bye, Masu, man. Thanks for hanging out. And blessings to you and to everybody. So anyway, I don't want to drag this out because I basically will be repeating myself. But let's keep our focus on the light. Let's keep our focus, not narcissistically, by the way, but we got to stay grounded. We got to stay in touch with our inner self. And they're going to rattle our faith. They're going to do their best to try to knock us off that dirt road that's getting a little slimy at the moment, And so maybe it's just time for some folks to just stop instead of, letting that dirt road suck them into the ditch, unless you have been on clay roads and how slippery they are. But it's not wrong for you, Hawkeye, and others might resonate. Yep. I let all people wear their own clothes. I have enough trouble keeping my own clean and in good repair. Absolutely. So, but there are folks who are basically sort of giving up on their God. Well, I prayed for this and it ain't happening. And it's like, okay, that's interesting. So whether you're, a Bible person, not necessarily, a Christian, I guess, of not any particular religious faith, but and of the Jewish faith. There are a lot of folks of the Jewish faith that are listening about, maybe Jesus did come. And so there's a lot of positive things going on with all the crap. Yes, Project Skyfall. Stay balanced. Ray of Thoth, yes, I'm so grateful for all you share. You're welcome, and thank you all. Krista MacArthur, how are you? I'm listening, creating soaps. Great. So, but anyway, again, this is not to be negative, but we absolutely need to reassure our own faith in ourselves and what we do believe in. So I'm going to keep this short at 36 minutes. Michelle, you don't get your 4 hours. Candy Apple, Barry Chad, Teresa. Harmony and Unity Community. We are all members of the League of Like-Minded Beings, regardless of what else happens. Okay? We will still be members of the League of Like-Minded Beings. Once, whatever, the transition is, we will still be members of the soul tribe of the universe. We are still part of the great collective of the universe. That's not going to change. Our perspective and our perception of things may change, but to those folks who may not believe in the trials and tribulations of revelations, look around you and see. That's all I got to say to the Christians. Well, this ain't really happening. Well, but maybe it is, and maybe parts of that apocalyptic thing that they wrote about. And they wrote it and they want it to come true, you see. So in that sense, must we actually go through some more? It'll be interesting. That's the biggest thing. Amanda says, I almost got lost the last few weeks. I'm so glad to be here with you all. You're welcome, Amanda. And that's one reason why they prompted me to get on this afternoon, because there's so much stuff and so much deceit and lies, and we actually don't know which side, maybe. What if in the end we're on the wrong side? Oh, would that just not suck? You know what I mean? I don't think we are, but there are folks who believe in what they believe in that's doesn't resonate with me or many of you, and they absolutely believe that we are on the wrong side. So I say, remember this. We are all members of the League of Like-Minded Beings, before, during, and after. Ray of Thoth, the infinite intelligence of love and wisdom, creation, expansion, that which has given me my divinity, call it what you want, may it flow into our lives daily, guiding us to the highest good for all. Thank you, Ray. That's very consistent and concise, and thank you. Yep. Creator put a spirit of life in all things and people. I'm not standing in judgment of another's use of their gift. I cherish my gift and trying to honor the gift. Thank you, Poppy Two Feathers. And that's one of the things in this great understanding, is that regardless of someone else's opinion, like the comment that was left on one of my videos the other night, was that, my prayers don't work and basically I'm an idiot. And, so it's like, but okay, so that's another person's opinion. But I'm not trying to rip them up one side and down the other, but I have to say, but, to make that comment, they should know me first, and whether or not any of my prayers actually have worked for me or for other people. So it's like, but okay, that's their opinion. And regardless of whether or not I like them, I still have to honor their beliefs. And that is a big thing. I have to respect who they are, even though I may think that their ideas are idiotical or, but anyway, two feathers is Dave's default. Yeah, but to the point, Pappy Two Bears, Creator did put life in all of us, even if some of us are evil as, I was going to say a wordy dirt, but even if there is evil and nasty and wicked and it's still, it's still part of creation. So let's keep the faith, what that faith is. And I'm here to just thank you, Ray of Thoth. Unconditional love to you all here. Thank you for all you're doing to assist humanity. It is not in vain. I agree. And so, even though my outcome in the next week may be different than what I'm actually praying for, I'm still going to be Hawkeye Two Feathers. I'm still going to be working how I'm working. I'm still going to be here unless they take me out, right? But the idea, though, that whatever the bigger picture is, we're still a part of it one way or the other from this outcome. So I'm still going to pray for the positive, and maybe it takes the rest of my lifetime to see it come through, or maybe it gets passed on to other folks, to you younger people out there who aren't over 65. But anyway, Pappy says, it's only a few who can understand the simple statement, I see you. There you go. Thank you, Pappy. Barry says, thanks for the discussion today. Changing my schedule is good. Yep. Thank you, Barry. And Project Skyfalls, I'm here to help humanity. Me too. Sending unconditional love to all humanity. Thank you, Michelle. Candy Apple's got to run. Yep. And I've been on here for 45 minutes almost, and there were 15 or 16 of you in here at the drop of a hat. Y'all are lovely people. Let's keep up the work, regardless of what we think the outcome should be. We'll, hopefully we're still going to be here. So let's just continue what our mission is. And our mission goal is to, stay in the light, to stay positive, regardless of the, I'm being a little facetious here, but, regardless of the rest of these assholes on this planet. Now, that's not being very honorable, but that's, unfortunately, sometimes the truth just comes out like, these people are just assholes. Okay. All right. Let's leave it there. But Barry and Michelle and Amanda and Teresa and Estee, hola, David, I believe you and you. High positive vibrations to all. Thank you. And remember, believing in me is believing in yourself. Okay. Because that's all I want you to do. I appreciate all of you subs and all of you followers. I really do. But I'm not a religion. I'm just one person having a conversation, And so thank you. But to believe in me is to believe in yourself, because that's what I believe. I believe in yourself. I believe in you. I believe in the power in each one of us. So if you believe in me, then believe in yourself. Okay. Just saying, it is not about me. You are in a dimension of hypocrisy. A hypocrite is something that opposes itself, an oxymoron. Something that opposes itself is self-consuming and cannibalistic. Okay, Doug. Ciao for now, Ian. The same here. I'm in a dimension of hypocrisy. A hypocrite is something that opposes itself, an oxymoron. Stay with it, my friend. Hi, iStation Z. Barry Chad, yes. our growing pain knowledge passed on is beneficial to everyone. Pass it on, stay in the light, keep your frequency the way, as Brian has told us, for those of you, um, be the frequency you wish to receive. And on that note, I will say my prayers to end this and we'll chat later. But keep the faith, my friends. The universe is still going to be here one way or the other. So we'll stay in the light and stay high vibes as much as possible, Project Sky Falls. And so keep the faith. So I continue to pray that each and every day, each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And I do, just like Sister Miriam, I continue to pray each and every day that each and every one of you, your friends, your family, all of your relatives, and all of your relations will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And in that rule of three, which is so great in comedy, that I continue to pray that each and every day that you will continue to learn to accept, receive, and most importantly here lately, sharing the wisdom, the knowledge, and the healing that is available to all of us in the universe at all times. Have a great rest of the day. It's 2:38 here in South Georgia. And as we love to say from here, TTFN. Ta-ta for now. I can hope Brian Barnett yeah, thank you, Brian. He's still with us, you know. Much love to all, and I could drag this out another 30 minutes, but I want to go out and cut some more firewood. So it's 44 degrees outside. It went up like 3 degrees from the last night's low, and it's like 60 here in the house, you know. So much for passive solar heating. So thank you, Teresa. Let's all say, Ween, Bob, we love you. Thank you for what you do for us. And we appreciate you. Here's some coffee to, to chug it down with. Until next time, TTFN. Stay safe, everyone. And I honestly mean that. Be safe, okay, wherever you may be. Until next time, cheers.